Wyvern in general is like push hard counter as well as the TP hard counter. We have seen LGD run it against Secret.
Yep.
MMY had like so many clutch cold embraces that like won them the game pretty much.
And DC, of course, Saksa played a wonderful Winter Wyvern.
Do you think it's underused, like by the other teams? Like so few teams use it?
I really think it is. Like a while ago, okay, like a long while ago, it was like first pick material, and now people have forgotten about it like completely. And I still think the Splinter Blast is super strong. You have really good lane presence with that how's it called, Arctic Burn?
Arctic Burn, yeah.
Arctic Burn. You have really good lane presence. And Cold Embrace is just like so strong. Mid game, late game, it's like a very strong tool.
Yeah, you're basically saying he has four very strong spells.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Thank you.
It's a good hero, but I think there's another important point too. You really don't want to pick Winter Wyvern unless you know the enemy team is going to be stacking some kind of pushing potential, and usually that revolves around physical DPS, which makes obviously the save on the hero better. It makes when you use Curse during late game, if you catch the TB in it and he's hitting his teammates, it just guarantees you're pretty much going to get a kill. Same thing can be said for heroes like Beastmaster as well. So when you know that the enemy team has Deathball potential, Winter Wyvern's always just super good.
Yeah. The enemy team always has to be really wary of the positioning.
Yep. The second phase ban of TNC, they removed Axe and Timber, heroes that are really good against Terrorblade. So yeah, it's gonna gear up for a game that revolves around the Metamorphosis, taking objectives, taking Roshan team fights. They're making sure that TB is gonna get a good game here.
Yeah, when you play TB, and Raven is really good at that, whenever you use Metamorphosis, you wanna have like you never wanna have it on cooldown. Like, I mean, off cooldown.
Do you still need another defensive hero like Oracle for the TB here? Do you think it's necessary?
I think having something like a Dazzle, something like an Oracle is always really good.
Dazzle's banned.
Alright, Dazzle is banned, then there's not that many good options because Dazzle is so strong with Terrorblade because you can just get a free Thunder off pretty much. When you have like an Oracle, you'll get like Oracle ulted at half HP and your Thunder is like not nearly as effective. So I think Dazzle is actually like the premier combo with the Terrorblade.
There we see Cuckoo, who had a respectable Timbersaw performance in the previous game, but has been a bit hot and cold, I'd say, this series so far. Needs to really kind of kick it into high gear, I guess, for TNC if they want to be able to clinch the W.
Yep, so they go for their team fight Chrono, but would you think like a Tide would be better with the TB?
I mean, why I like Void TB is as soon as you get Dragonlance, you pretty much have like free reign like over the whole Chrono AoE. Like you can outrange even the furthest target away from the AoE.
I mean, I guess I just prefer Tide because you can buy the mech for your team. That's all.
And you can push easier, but Void is
better scaling.
Way better scaling than him, yeah. Although the laning phase will be a bit harder on him.
Yeah, sometimes. Like depends on what kind of supports are you up against. And
yeah, and he can't really catch up on Ancients like Tide would be able to. But like what we wanted to talk about, Terrorblade, whenever Metamorphosis is off cooldown, you wanna use it to either farm a big Ancient stack, farm a big jungle stack, push a tower. Like you always wanna use it right away. And I think TNC is really good at that. Like whenever it's off cooldown, they're already clumped up and they have like an objective in mind.
I mean, I think Raven plays like the best Terrorblade here, honestly. Like after we watched him play the other day at the main stage, it was just phenomenal performance overall. So I'm more or less inclined to agree.
Well, I think overall his carry play this event, he's very efficient, maybe the most efficient, and he is always in a very good position. Like when the enemy is coming to gank him, he's always in a safe spot. He rarely gets caught. So I think that those are the two like best traits that he has as a carry in this event.
Yeah, I mean, that's why Burning was so good back then, right? He would never get caught, he would always split push you, he would always be in a good position. He has got good traits of Burning. I liked it.
DC pull out the Sand King here. We saw huge success with it yesterday in the hands of Liquid in particular. Mind Control offers more team fight, of course, but gotta be careful to time out that Winter's Curse with an Epicenter. Don't want to end up mitigating all your own damage after all.
But we have seen it like the other time. Which team was it that picked Sand King and Potom together? Was it eHome? Like you would just initiate from like 1,000 range away.
I think it was eHome, yeah.
Yeah, and just like burst the hero down immediately. Like Sand King, Potom have the potential, and mid late game they're super strong together, and you have to be really careful.
But they're all spell damage, you know, my friend.
Yeah.
All spell damage.
But you know, if you have a BKB and you can't get it off, it's like you die
I think
anyway.
It's okay if you have like spell damage right now because you still have one core pick left. You can still kind of fix that a little bit, I feel. And plus the Sand King makes the Void's job a lot harder, I think, in the fights. Like when you're trying to group up and push and you have to have one person go in, then Sand King is just like one of the best in that situation because you can counter initiate so easily.
And I guess it's very good in the laning phase, which is, I think, in this matchup particular, it's very, very crucial for both teams to operate their drafts and play their game. Winning the lanes is very, very crucial for them.
I just feel like DC will have a hard time
10
deciding on that
seconds
physical damage
remaining.
core because you don't want to have a core that has like a high amount of physical
5
damage,
seconds
like
remaining.
stats based against TB. Because in every team fight you will pretty much just kill yourself. If you pick a Morphling against TB,
Reserve time.
you'll just kill yourself every team fight. The same goes for Jack a little bit, not as much, but like it really limits the carry options in my opinion.
But what can you pick? Like it's there's Chronosphere, there's the Venge. Like it's very difficult to pick a carry in this situation unless you want to carry that split pushes, never fights. Then you don't have to worry about those things.
Yeah, I think that is probably like the best way to avoid it, because those two
10
are complete
seconds
anti-carries. Like even TB himself
Yeah.
against so many heroes.
TNC's
So that's the
turn
split
to
go for a
bat.
Slark,
Yeah, the split pusher. He's gonna allow his team to move around, push the waves, and catch with the Sand King. Seems like a very solid choice here for Digital Chaos. And they have very good deep push with a Splinter Blast plus the
10
Mirana Axe at
seconds
some point.
remaining.
Yeah, but we spoke about it the other day, Draskell. Like, Disruptor
5
hard
seconds
counters
remaining.
Slark until he gets his BKB. And I feel like TNC will be able to put a lot of pressure on the map before he gets that
Reserve time.
BKB.
But you're gonna get the BKB like second item probably this
Yeah,
game.
a Shadowblade BKB.
After the Shadowblade.
DC's turn
But
to
until
bat.
then, like TNC has a lot of openings in their field to pressure all the towers.
Would you consider a Blink here against the Chrono as a slug, or you would just always go for the Shadowblade?
It is very possible to get a blink. It's just I feel you get a blink when you have like another core that can deal physical damage.
But not
10
as a soul carry.
seconds
Yeah, because
remaining.
like Shadowblade gives you that extra attack speed and extra damage.
Any
5
value getting the blink
seconds
because of the
remaining.
Faceless Void in the other team, helping avoid the Chronos, scary situations, maybe jump
Reserve
backliners.
time.
Yeah, jump away from the TB Thunder as well. Like there's many reasons to get a blink. I
5
just don't think it's
seconds
possible this game.
remaining.
Because they don't have enough damage.
I mean, assuming the Sand King has a semi-easy lane, like he'll get a blink, and then the Slark doesn't necessarily need one if they're going to be playing together this game.
That's a good
Right.
point.
Yep.
You don't want too many same items. It's like how you itemize DK. Sometimes you go for a blink if there's no initiation, but you go for armlet when there's someone else to initiate for your team.
We actually see the Enchantress ban from TNC.
10
Yeah,
seconds
curious
remaining.
ban.
They don't want you to steal the illusions, and it's more like you can also secure the early game for the TB because French and Disruptor are not very good at dealing with the creeps.
So it is actually a support Sand Though. Position 4 Sand
Yeah, but this pick means I think DC really want to fight in the early game.
Oh,
They
look at their combo, like vacuum into
10
Curse
seconds
and
remaining.
Epicenter.
Epicenter, yeah. But I think the Ion Shell also enables like a lot of their heroes during the
5
early mid game too to
seconds
fight. Like
remaining.
they're not going to give up towers, I think, with these heroes.
Yeah,
Like,
they
they have
won't.
Winter Wyvern for deep push and Ion Shell. It's so good.
They definitely want to
Reserve
pressure the
time.
TB really early on. They don't want to give him a free game.
Yeah,
Because we
don't-
have seen when TNC has a free game with TB, they just like win.
Don't forget about the Iron Shell and Slug. It's gonna create a timing where the Slug gets an early Shadowblade, goes to the TB's lane, and with Iron Shell you're gonna easily kill
It
it.
kills him super easy. It's like another 90 DPS.
Yeah.
I think this is actually kind of scary for TNC now.
It
That
really
Darkseer
is.
pick.
That was a very, very good pick in my opinion. It just enables the Wyvern, the Sand King, the Slug, all to do more in the game.
Time to go core Venge and pull out Oracle in a time of need.
No. There was a thing a couple of months ago.
Maybe
but,
if it was Wings.
but you don't want to do it at TI. It's like a big risk.
Dude, Wings
Like,
would so do that.
I mean, Wings doesn't care. We know that. But they're also in the winner bracket.
That's true.
Yeah. But like, if the Sand King does have a bad
10
game
seconds
and his
remaining.
blink gets like really delayed, we won't be able to see the combo potential of the Mirana
Five
and
seconds.
Sand King.
Because if you
remaining.
look at their lineup, if the early game doesn't go well, everyone needs farm. So
Wait, this is when Alchemists are super greedy.
The greed is real with TNC. Is it too greedy, winner?
it is too greedy. So DC.
DC.
Yeah, DC.
3 DCs here at the panel. Let's see what our casters think. Let's throw it down their way. It's Toby Wan and Merlini.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 3 of TNC versus Digital Chaos. Behind me I have a bunch of memes. I heard a lot of reports though of bad memes and obnoxious people in the bag. So I'm not gonna arrest you. I'm gonna do something worse. I'm gonna sunspin you and try and block them out if I can. You better get some good ones.
You can't block the techies buff meme. This meme right here, that is reality right there. Sticky Minds is going to become a thing, but something that's going to be so big, man. This deciding game,
10 seconds
TNC
remaining.
versus Digital Chaos, elimination game, and the greed
5
is real.
seconds
We have
remaining.
3 DCs up there at the panel, but I think they're all disconnected. I think TNC, can the greed pay off?
Alchemist yet again. We've had an Alchemist and a Naga and a Naga, and
Prepare
it's
for battle.
sometimes pretty hard to stop. Last game it was met with the AA, but last pick Alchemist seems to be a pretty strong, but it's going to be hard to deal with this team fight. Starting off with the Darkseer on Moose slipped in the last pick. Misery on that Sand King, and they have a beautiful team fight setup. Winter's Curse will, like even the double Starstorm follow up after that target dies, of course, and Epicenter, perfect to combo afterwards.
Yeah, this is my dream game. So much combination from DC, such a great team fight style lineup. The only thing we're missing right now is a beautiful Enigma, but TNC, we're gonna go for a creepy little maneuver. They put down the Observer Ward, they'll check out the Radiant camp. There is a Radiant Sentry Ward just a little bit away from them on the low ground, just below the Ancient. So DC currently have no idea that TNC is waiting here. The question is, will anybody from DC walk into the clutches? Nope, they won't. TNC will come back off the hillside, reveal themselves. Wait, are they gonna try and 5-man fight this top rune? Are they gonna again contest the Alchemist for the bounty rune?
Yeah, they think they're safe.
But you have an arrow in a very clustered area like the river. You can time it perfectly, so someone will have to tank the arrow to stop the Alchemist from getting the rune. Misery comes forward with that Burrow Striker Battle. Resolution keeps the Disruptor out. Cuckoo hit by that arrow. It can be a long stun. Misery still has his into the Arctic Burn. Cuckoo's in trouble, and Cuckoo will go down. Hit DC. They stick on him. And it is a Weehaw. Will bring down the Alchemist for first blood. Another start.
So well versed in dealing with Alchemist and stopping the early bounty rune. It's something that seems so trivial, but you really do need those runes. That's why he's so powerful nowadays, being able to get 3x, 4x, you know, even more. But that's the second game in a row DC have just prevented him from getting the runes, and I think they're going to continue to do that. The kill combo in between the Mirana and the Sand King, especially with a roaming Sand King. I like their choice here to throw him on the support role.
And I'm wondering if this Alchemist should go like we've seen other Alchemists in the playoffs so far. Like, you just like force him into the safe lane, make sure he gets the guaranteed farm, but then you're putting a Terrorblade in the middle lane up against a Mirana with no escape. It's kind of hard. As the panel said, it was very, very greedy. DC proved they can deal with the Alchemist in the last game. At TNC, they stick to their guns, they go again. I'm watching this top lane as well closely move. He's got 1 point up in serve, so Dean would have to hit the perfect magic missile. But at the moment, it looks like he just wants to do the pull-up and let Raven farm underneath his own tier 1 tower.
SamH is maybe in a little bit of trouble on the bottom lane as he tries to trade hits with Misery.
Time walks out. They're setting up for another Courier Snipe 2 in mid. AU moving in there as a disruptor. The Courier is not actually moving out. Currently he's holding onto the Soul Ring recipe of move. I don't know if Weehaw, because he's still got a healing salve up your sleeve, he may be waiting for the entire bottle. So this Disruptor is wasting a lot of time just sitting in between the lanes. And in fact, Cuckoo is not a healthy man. Weehaw has an arrow plus Starfall available. He actually started to prep the arrow, but he couldn't find a good line to hit Cuckoo, not with the new creep wave arriving.
I wonder if he's gonna get the snipe. He's gonna have to be very patient there. We still needs a few more creeps until 660.
And right now he's just denying everything and looking for more damage on the Alchemist than he is creeps.
They're having to wait for the rune on the bottom. Misery trying to get there and prevent the Alchemist.
Oh, if he borrows, it's level 1. He can't reach it in time. So the Alchemist at least gets some extra money from this, but Misery he's like willing to zone him out of the mid lane by chasing him underneath the tier 1. An easy Burrow Strike. He does have Caustic Finale, so not Sandstorm damage, but it pushes Cuckoo back underneath his own tier 1. It's still like, AU has not moved. He's still here. Misery, come on, man. You got Burrow Strike up. The hunting to the ends of the earth. Up into the jungle. Maybe Bloodseeker was picked in this game. It's just in the form of a Sand King model.
He can't even suicide safely.
Oh, look at it. He's gonna find him. He's coming down the tree line. Misery. He backed out. At the same time, Disruptor is having a crack at Weehaw, and that's when the bottle makes its play. So AU loses his timing, and Alchemist loses a lot of time in the mid lane.
They even get a free bottle refill for Wee as he gets the double damage on the top. Misery doing a very good job of protecting the runes and threatening the Alchemist.
Just that rotation there, the bottom rune, like you get Alchemist, like normally it's the old phrase, Alchemist takes a bounty rune, Alchemist wins the mid lane. You take a bounty rune and then you just lost the mid lane because of Misery.
Are you trying to coin that thing?
I am thinking about it.
I don't think I've heard that one before. Makes sense.
I'm fairly certain that's what I was saying for all of the last TI. Disruptor had, he actually went level 1 up in Glimpse. Now a Burrow Strike on the Demon support. Moo charging his way over. They got the double Iron Shells. Demon's in trouble. Cuts through the tree line. He doesn't have another magic missile. And Moo, he's far enough away. The wave of terror will fly out. It only connects on Misery, but Demon will have to go all the way home now.
Invisibility.
He almost caught that clarity. I think that's what he was waiting for. Misery saw it coming though. I just waited. Rana will get Bounty Rune. A little bit of ill luck, perhaps, for Alchemist.
And this feels like a real rough position when Raven, the first time he triggers Metamorphosis, is just so he can farm underneath his own tier 1 tower. Not pushing into the DC tier 1. He's still really good for CS. Both Sloth as well as Terrorblade have found a really good amount of CS in this game so far. The Mirana as well, like Weeha. 22 for 7 up against the 15 CS of Cuckoo. So a long time out of the lane means the levels are really not great. In fact, Cuckoo is a full level behind Weeha and a bit to spare.
They're getting threatened in all the lanes though. Raven isn't farming safely. Alchemist definitely not farming safely. And Winter Wyvern stacking up massively in the bottom lane. Looks like he's going to have almost a quad stack.
When you run a gritty lineup like this though, like for TNC, are you happy with only 1 kill in 5 minutes going against you? Like yeah, there's some stacks being prepared, but you're getting farm on your Faceless Void as well as levels. And after Sam's performance in game number 1, this is something which has to be respected by DC.
No, you're definitely not happy with this because you can get killed in any of the lanes. Like if Sand King gets a stun, combine that with maybe an Ion Shell on top with a Caustic Slow, mid lane, easy arrow follow up. Like all these lanes are potentially kill lanes. If you feel safe in all those lanes and the kill score isn't going to be 4-0, 5-0, then yeah, I think you're okay trading for Alchemist. But not when people could die, and especially not what happened after the last game with DC. They warded up, they went through the jungle, and they just occupied that area.
Big contest for this neutral camp at the moment. Primary problem for Sam was the fact that his Dire creep wave didn't get pulled down properly. Resolution dragged it over after the Radiant creep wave was killed off. And they'll make a break for the bottom runes. It'll be an Arcane rune for 1, the Bounty rune for Mirana. And another deep maneuver here from the Sand King, and he finds a stack. He doesn't have Sandstorm available, however, so there's no way he's going to be looking to farm up this stack.
You can really limit this farm though in a couple of ways. Like you can get the Mirana to arrow the large creeps, maybe a couple of them, slow down his gold income. I think you can actually take it down with the double Ion Shell. Maybe not with so many magic resistance creeps.
They're coming to mid. Disrupt is a little bit too far out. Weeha starts to start for Misery. Uncertain about the target he wanted. At Alchemist, the Chemical Rage is up. He's got a lot of life, but with the extra help from the Wyvern, Cuckoo's on the run. He'll catch the arrow perfectly. Where's the help from TNC? Demon will arrive. The stuns on Misery. Cuckoo can't survive. Misery so low. Has he got the damage on the other hill? And they can drag him back with a glimpse. Cold Embrace. Misery is still alive. 600 triggered. There's not really a lot of mana. There's enough for a Thunderstrike from Disruptor. That is only a level 1, however. Demon needs at least 1 attack and he can't get it. Misery is back to the tier 1 tower safely.
Oh, they got outplayed so hard there. I really like the patience from the arrow on the Mirana, just nailing him when he's in the river.
And now Moo takes the Alchemist stack. Iron shelled it up. He's going to run away. Salve up. And come back for the rest of it in a bit.
The Alchemist, gonna be a sad man.
He arrives for the last, but even gets to take some unnecessary damage from the Iron Shell. At least he gets Mud Golems. That's one small perk. And they're giving the space in middle lane to Disruptor, so they can try and get that Storm up and running.
Perhaps TNC can salvage the early game by stealing that large stack. CMH has probably alerted this team as to that large quad stack, and no one's really gone down there to take it out. But they already have the Observer Ward there. They're prepped for a potential maneuver into here. But TNC not really showing any signs of wanting to go onto the opposite side of the river, although I think that could be a big cash cow for them.
Yeah, they could think about it. Like, if you want to force the tier 1 tower, you take out the stack with the Alchemist, and then push with Terrorblade. Terrorblade still has some good levels now to like a 0-3-4 build. Just shy of the level 8s, no Sunder available, but the Demon Edge, Dragonlance, sorry, shouldn't be too far away.
They need heroes to do things around the map. Pressure towers, get kills.
That's a level 2 glimpse for against Weeha if he wants to stick around. There's some good damage from the Starfall. Leap is available. They already used the glimpse, put him into the wall, but that's not the way that combo can work. You need to wait and beat out the leap for that to work.
Chronosphere just skilled up on Sam H. Where's their damage though? They need, I think the Terrorblade is the only one that can really get a kill. Maybe the Alchemist if he drops an acid spray with the base void beating on the hero, but
This is the reason why they're trying to get the storm up. Misery barely missing the stun. Demon will move over. Misery, first stun to happen. That Terror Blade, heavy damage when he's in Metamorphosis. Stick charges will not keep the Sand King alive. And Sam actually rotated. He TP'd up. So they have to be pushing this tier 1 tower now. Do some level of damage to make this rotation worth it, or, okay, nope, they smoke up. Sam and Demon together. They're coming to the mid lane, where Weeha is currently running underneath the tier 1 tower. The shot to try and juke it out, but Weeha hits the arrow. The 4 levels up in Starfall will find the kill. You do have the leap as well as the Starfall on cooldown, so Faceless Void looking for Chrono. Careful, Demon is a little bit too close for just to go on a straight Chrono, and they don't have the vision. The Void Chrono would drag him out of that. I think you're right. They're not certain exactly where their damage is meant to come from.
Getting blocked up, needed with a slow with a caustic, and the Ion Shell will tick down onto Terrorblade. His armor not really doing anything in that situation.
2 level 4 Iron Shells. How do you even escape from that? Like, you need Sunder, but he doesn't have Sunder.
Nor did he have the mana at the time. They really need kills with the Chronosphere. Sam H still maybe trying to find somewhere to kill, but he's just Iron Talenting it up.
Farm up as much as he possibly can. At least give Disruptor more space, but Misery starting the creep skip. And it's so easy for them to go in here. Fresh Iron Shell not available. Burrow Strike up. Now the Iron Shell is on the creep wave. And Disruptor, he already took too much damage. That last second back, or did he? Walks away, the Caustic Finale. Misery can't reach him again. It's a level 3 Burrow Strike. Well, level 3 doesn't even get you that far to reach the Disruptor. But a nice back from Mu almost made that work.
Right now, TNC just need things to happen around the map. The professional players will talk about it like they just need, they call them do stuff heroes, and they don't really have anyone that can fulfill that role right now. Who is going to set up kills for them? Who's going to do the damage? Who's going to push towers, try and protect stacks, stop them from ganking? Right now is just them trying to farm up and everyone just waiting for the Alchemist to get for farm, but they can't keep waiting.
And this time around, the Alchemist isn't that far ahead in the farm. Not like even with the bad start he had in the last game. In this game, he got 5.1k net worth to the 4.9 to Mirana. That's mainly because Weeha has also found 3 kills on this Mirana. And with the core Mirana, the Aghanims will come a lot faster. Terrorblade keeping his illusions alive is going to be next to impossible. And Raven has moved down south. The stack is already gone. They do have an ancient stack to play with. That's one small upside now for TNC.
Yeah, they can't stop this axe timing from Mirana. She's just free in the mid lane. And her arrow earlier on the Disruptor is kind of the next level arrow that only works on good players, so they expect to be in front and then dodge back and then run into the arrow. And they will scout out the stack that's happening, but nowhere close to enough heroes. They've already kind of secured this top side of the map for Mu. They dropped the Zephyr Wards, Misery with a very fast move speed build with a Pringle on the wind lanes up.
Looking for Weeha this time around. He's got the Storm dragging Weeha back into book with the clips. But the mid tower actually gets denied by the Alchemist. Even will find the last hit on the Mirana.
It's a big kill. They need their level 6s and they have that and then some.
And then you look to the top lane. Sam is currently going to be under siege. Misery's moving up. They got extra help coming in the form of the Wyvern.
Who just picked up Alchemist Bounty Rune.
Doesn't belong to him. I didn't see his name written on it.
Everything in yellow kind of has his name written on it. Or so he hopes. But they don't have an Alchemist on this game. No AA. Although, to be honest, I don't even know if they really needed the AA last game. It was a nice touch on top.
They just made those kills a little bit easier. But you're fine with this, like, you just essence shift out with the Slarks. Like, the Alchemist who will survive a little bit longer just makes the Slark even more powerful.
Uh-oh, one of your worst nightmares is a support. A Slark with an early Shadow Blade.
That will definitely be difficult. Thanks to the Observer Ward, they also see the fact that Demon has gone all the way back to base. It's a very aggressive Obs Ward that went down by Misery. Just on the very far eastern corner of the TNC jungle. So they know that Sam is up here all alone in Misery. Well, you can see him running in there. Time walk out, Faceless Void will TP. Misery, Blind Burrow, not gonna do it. So easy tier 1 tower up on top. They will not find the extra kill they were hoping for.
Tower is under attack.
Digital Chaos. They're the ones to get the first tower kill. I mean the second tower kill.
They just need to keep the Ancient stacking up there. They aim for the economy game, even with the draft on the Alchemist, so they need to just make sure they keep farming up. And now not really a great time to fight for them.
Dire's top
DC,
tower is
a
under
lot stronger
attack.
team fight, not only in their heroes, but also in their items. The mech recently completed for the Darkseer, I really don't see them having enough damage, except for something like Roach.
That'll work. Disruptor smoking up, trying to have a look around. Does Misery, does DC realize what's going on? If TNC can grab this, it's going to be a huge advantage for them. They move to the lane, but they don't find anybody now. The Disruptor will be caught, but move. He wants to go on this. They don't realize what's happening. Roshan is low. Misery, he looks inside. The sun will be there. Misery, fire strike through two. Starts the extend, but the Disruptor's door. The back wall is almost enough. Demon will pop it. The 1-for-1 straight up. Roshan's still alive. You got Resolution inside the pit. They have to do something, Sam. Well, yeah, he was starting that Chronosphere, but he was not going to end it. The Dire Sentry Ward is up. They see Slush. They know he's there. The Chronosphere, the Darkseer wall, and now the curse. Faceless Void drops instantly. The big ulti is gone. Resolution jumps up. He wants to kill a Raven. Thunder's already been used for the life. Just stripped away from his cold dead fingers. Kuka will drop then DC. The perfect fight around Roshan. The Chrono being blown, and now Roshan will be taken by DC.
Oh, that was all Misery. That fight, realizing that, okay.
He went in, he tried to steal it. Now that is classic Jimmy.
Low risk. Just avenge life. His teammates are dead anyways.
Yep.
I'm down with that.
Classic Jimmy would have been a real call. Going in for that. But if it worked, it would have been genius. Use the Wave of Terror to get vision, but DC were waiting for it.
Yeah, I like Misery, though he didn't go for the Disruptor. He didn't buy it on the bait. He's like, what is he doing over here? Because normally it's like Vengeful Spirit, that's the one that's far more aggressive, placing out the wards, and he just senses it out immediately. And with that, they're going to have to rely on Alchemist to get even more farm. He purchased Radiance Recipe, but still a few minutes away.
Tower has fallen.
Misery's looking for bottom lane. Fresh blink dagger in his hand. Cuckoo does trigger his chemical rate, so Weeha won't have enough confidence to get the kill, but a great leap out from a swap. Misery, a triple stun. Nice time for Weeha. He'll throw the arrow out. Slight kills the Terrorblade in the meantime, but Weeha will die in the tree lines.
That was genius.
So again, another double Iron Shell combo on top lane. This time it was the Slark as well as the Darkseer together.
But now we have the Ags up on the Varana, and I don't think they can outfarm even with an Alchemist at this pace. And their heroes are just highly susceptible to Magic Burst, which they definitely have.
Demon is pretty much dead. Blink fire by Misery. Resolution will roam over as Glenn tries to find space. Resolution. He has enough damage. A 3-3-2. And a gold he pulls out from Demon's corpse.
Just a free game for the Slark. Free farm, free Aegis, free support kills. There's nothing they can really do to stop him. He just had the time of his life on his bottom lane. The support just stacked up. Not a care in the world.
He has more net worth than an Alchemist 17 minutes into a game. This tells probably more of the story about the Resolution Slark with 5 kills than all the CS.
The Winter's Curse is going to be a really big problem in team fights too. Like, the draft panel was talking about how terribly turns the carries against each other. I think there's no other spell better than that, actually, than the Winter's Curse, especially with how well he used it in the last fight immediately after Chronosphere came out.
4-minute smoke from DC. See where they want to head with this. Right now, looks like the destination is Dire Jungle. The Observer Ward only barely timed out. And EU pings it out saying, hey, this thing just disappeared here. But what they don't realize is DC's on their way. Blink, Burrow, they look for the target. Cuckoo, the back in the wall. The front roll was forced from. We are a move inside that one then. Looking for a good chrono time. Not really finding it, just using time dilation instead. And then Resolution, the back line. It is a bad day to be a support. One down, his eyes are on Demon. The Chronosphere for the curse, it just holds the Faceless Void there. You might get the kill over on Misery, but Terrorblade, the Thunder, try and let him fight more. He's another hit up against Move, won't reach, not when the Cold Embrace auto protects. TNC losing 4. Weeha that'll pick up the Faceless Void. A little bit further to the south of that fight. This tier 2 tower is numbered to maybe 5 seconds of life. And TNC losing too many. They are so far behind this game. We're going to rapidly approach 10k net worth and experience advantage for TNC. And we're not even 20 minutes into the game.
Yeah, uncharacteristically bad draft from TNC, and couple that with a lot of early game mistakes, poor room control, and you have a 10,000 gold lead, DC. And
This is the nightmare for TNC. They played such terrific Dota to get to this point, and this series has kind of like turned itself around. The ascent of the draft not really helping them out. They went for greed a little bit too much, the double alchemists. And they have to find a way to somehow pull this game back again. And it all started with this, like Cuckoo getting caught. The Darkseer controls has been so good.
Yeah, that was a really quick swap out by Demon, but did not really save him there. I think DC has actually been the best drafter this entire tournament. Of all the teams. I think that's why they've gotten this far, why they did so well in the group stage. And TNC also performed pretty well in the draft, not as well as DC, but this series it seems like they're just relying on safe strats. Maybe these are just things that they practice in scrims, 50, 100s, maybe at times, and just something that they're very comfortable with, albeit like DC's draft just it's just creaming them in every single lane, in every single team fight, and all the skirmishes.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
And TNC just needs some relief. Just some time to farm the Arcus, but they can't even stack. DC's movements from now, like they go from the top lane, they're going to flank all the way down the bot. They know exactly where TNC is, and TNC, they're moving as 5. The top creep wave comes in, no one is there to defend. So DC understands that someone's probably out of position. Wards get dewarded, so Demon flags his own position. TNC, the TP out, will be successful. In fact, all of them will be getting out, apart from Sam, who is waiting. Not quite certain what for.
He wanted to try and pop the smoke, and then it would have looked like the Terrorblade had popped the smoke because he's in that similar distance, especially if they put from the north, and then he can bait out, maybe, you know, waste 10, 15 seconds and a couple of spells. It's a small thing, but every little small thing counts for TNC at this point. But what they really need are observer wards around the map. There's only one up for TNC. Their last one got dewarded, and yeah, this one's the lone one. It spots not a terribly important area for them. It controls a little bit of the Alchemist stacks. He does have Radiance, and this farm is getting up there, but he's still behind the Slark. He needs, I would say, at least 3,000-4,000 net worth above the Slark before they stand a decent chance in the team fights.
And even then, you still need the rest of TNC to step up to the mark. Terrorblade hasn't really been a big influence. His illusions are cleaned up too quickly. He needs to have more survivability.
He doesn't have any towers down. I think it's even more glaring. There are still all 6 T1 and T2 towers up on the side of DC.
Well, the first Metamorphosis he used, he had to farm up his Tier 1 tower, but the push never came.
Yeah, I think maybe TNC were also a little bit too presumptuous, assuming that the Stand King was going in the offlane. And I think they banned out a support in that last one, and then DC were very happy with Darkseer. I know you were calling for Darkseer during the draft, but like, wow, it's pretty common to see with the Winter Wyvern. It's particularly good versus Terrorblade, who struggles versus the laning Ion Shell.
It also solves the problem of the slight spacing of TNC during their team fights. Get that high level up, the easy farm, like move up to level 13. The only point he's really missing is the last one up in Surge and Wall. There's the 4 points up in back. That's what does the work against TNC. And Demon, well, he's dead. Resolution comes in from one side, Weehan will win from the other.
Sacrifices for the team's misery, looking for Sam. Stuns into the wrong place as Sam almost shows himself.
This is a flawless game for Resolution. Not a single death to his name. Weehan's loving life as well.
So I was talking about this earlier with you, but the highest win rate currently for a hero at TI is Winter Wyvern, surprisingly. It was, I believe, Ursa at one point, and then PA after MVP won a lot, but now it's Winter Wyvern. And Saxa has been an amazing Winter Wyvern, but I also think it's how well DC incorporated into their draft. Sometimes it's 4th pick, sometimes they just completely ignore it. This time they picked it up in the first phase. They always vary at the drafts. You never know what they're going to pick. They use a lot of Kunkka in the group stage, but they don't need as ship or as rum to win them this series.
It works perfectly. Like we saw the curse just completely destroy that fight just around Roshan. Faces forward goes for Chrono. What happens then? Get the curse. Doesn't matter if he's attacking anybody else. It's just the fact that the Chrono does nothing. There's no damage to output. And maybe that's also one of the bigger problems just with TNC.
They just need to wait for DC to split up. I think if they can get like one pick into one tower, that will go a long way into getting them back in this game. But they need to start taking down towers, even maybe trying to do a lot of chip damage with the Terrorblade onto the towers. but they need to leave their base. It might even be a good idea for them to invest in a gem at this point, just so they can play long term. You need to out-economize them at some point, taking down observer wards and not having to invest gold in the sentry wards right now, so you can overcome this huge net worth that DC has.
It is crazy to see this game, like as we saw, like the graph so far up. Golden experience, DC. It's gonna be a hard ask for TNC to turn this one around. Roshan instant respawn, DC scattered out, so they can move down. If TNC want to try and contest this, then they'll have to commit everything they've got.
Yeah, and the Alk lineup is just not the ideal lineup to turtle with, and it's not that great for Mason. You can spam, but only if it's really farm. He doesn't have Manson, let alone Octane at this point, and you need all the illusions that you can get, and their high ground defense is just a little bit poor. Maybe with the Faceless Void, it's a little bit okay, but with BKBs already coming out, first one on the Slark, perhaps one later on the Mirana if they need it, but it all went wrong at the Roshan pit, and Roshan number 2 will go the way of Digital Chaos.
CNC's too late. They try and smoke up, and they're running a very long way away.
But look where Misery is. He's scared of him.
Oh, he blinks, he forced up. He may not realize there's a lot of support around them. Chemical Rage very triggered. They need to get this kill on Misery before the fight begins, but Misery gets on the sandstorm. They don't see him. He's actually still up into the tree line. Misery surged away. They need to kill the bloody SK, but they can't even do that. Mirana will be behind them. We are free to fight the Chrono. It caught Resolution and Weeha. Thanks to the Sentry Ward, they knew he was there. So TNC will be able to find one thing, but Misery swap back in. Demon trying to kill his former teammate with a back wall, catching 3 from Moon. Where will be the damage? Resolution is the one bringing it. Again, TNC coming up short. They have brought down the Mirana. Resolution on the run. Cuckoo can't even TP. The Forest Strike will hit the mark as a triple kill for Moon.
What excellent teamwork from DC to save Misery in that dire situation. You don't really want to concede any kills at this point. I have to commend his positioning at the start of the fight. He kind of was in a perfect position to block smokes from both angles, into the secret shop or the long way around if you think that they're going to try and next level you, which Demon has. That's how he got this far in this tournament.
And now with no big oldies from TNC, it's now even a more impossible task. They have to defend their mid-racks. 26 minutes in, Resolution still has that Aegis the Immortal. Wave of Terror forward, hits a couple of them, glimpse, pulls Misery back, but he fires strikes forward, faces Void. Needs a time bomb with the back from Darkseer. Interrupts him so he's unable to do so. And then Wyvern jumping forward. The curse is on Demon. Raven, thanks to BKB, can walk away. But Resolution fine with this. He just walks up, killing off Jimmy. The fire strike to Kuku. They're losing too many. TNC are falling apart as DC will bring down the mid-racks. They have buybacks on 2 of their cores, but to do so, it will cripple their cores so heavily that the comeback is already pretty hard. It'd make it almost impossible.
DC can taste the victory. As they close in on a second set of racks, there is just no fight left in TNC. Chronosphere will cool down about same time as his respawn, and this will be the last thing left in the tank for TNC.
It's all or nothing now. TNC need a victory fight. The Glimpse striking back move. Nice ulti from Disruptor. Doesn't catch Resolution or Weehawk. And Conscience does, but Darkseer just takes through it all. Now the Chrono. Sam will find 3. Who did they kill? They don't know. The Southern faces Void. Weehawk hit the arrow perfectly. And Gancho causing chaos in these fights. It looks like it's over. TNC have lost too many. There's too many beyond godlike. DC. The Terrorblade is the last man standing. TNC will keep fighting to the bitter end. And they look for it. The force up, the blink, the bar, the arrow, the style points from DC. They will go for the triple racks, force the megas. And they will get the GG out from TNC at some time.
And DC have dashed the dreams of yet another aspiring TI champion. As TNC, this will be the end of their long road.
It really will be, but they fought a hard one. There's no doubt about that. TNC's games over the last couple of rounds have just been inspiring. Some terrific Dota in there, and it's Demon will admit the defeat. GG! DC will take the series against TNC 2-1. Most of America be happy. DC have now got, at minimum, a top of 6th placing at TI6.
Can't be happy with that one. Missouri proving to be ever consistent in his drafts, mirroring it up and countering TNC perfectly in game 2 and 3.
And it's amazing how